Hi guys, me again. Today we're going to be looking at the BTL-B Y-Wing Starfighter. This is made by Keon Sayar Manufacturing. It is classed as a Starfighter, costs around 127,000 credits to construct. It's around 23.04 meters long, has a maximum speed of 950 kilometers an hour. It's a Class 2 hyperdrive, has a 10 jump drive memory and uses an astromech on board for its navigation systems. It has medium laser cannons and a double light ion cannon. You can see them both here. It has a Mag 7 proton torpedo launcher which can carry up to 10 torpedoes, as well as the ability to use proton bombs. The version we're using here is again from the community mod, as it has working GBUs. Cargo capacity, it'll take around 130 kilos and can store consumables for about a week. So if you ever get stranded, you're not going to be high and dry. It was used by the military as both a starfighter and a bomber, and was introduced into the Republic around 22 BBY. Now, the thing that makes this different than most Y-Wings is that, unlike its predecessors, this Y-Wing had full coverage of its fuselage and both engines. This provided better armory, however it made it very, very heavy. The other addition that this has that its predecessors doesn't is a bubble turret. This bubble turret was designed to give the gunner a full 360 view, and also utilised 2 light ion cannons for disabling craft. It possesses a hyperdrive system allowing it to jump without the need for a carrier, and it obviously used the assistance of an astro droid to do that. So we're going to hop in and we're going to muck around, and we'll see what's what. Alright, so first thing we need to talk about before we hop into this vehicle is it doesn't fly like a helicopter like the Lats over there do. This flies in what we call a VTOL. In real life can be compared to something like a Harrier jump jet. Harrier jump jets, for those that don't know, has the ability to take off vertically and not just go straight forward. So I'll sit in the cockpit for you so you can get a good look at it. Again, very nice details in this. I didn't touch on this on my LAT video. To get the radar working, it's left control and R, and that'll turn your radar on. So first thing we're going to look at is auto vectoring. When you have auto vectoring on, it means you can't change the direction in which the engines sit. So if I turn the auto vectoring off, I can decrease the vectoring or increase the vectoring. For takeoff and landing, you want it all the way increased so that the option no longer appears. Again, we have lights and collision lights and things like that. I might just hop out and show you the gunner seat actually. So the gunner seat, just like the LAT, I'm actually capable of, no, the engine's got to be on. You are capable of controlling the turret on top. Lost it, there we go. Alright, so I'll show you that when we get back. Hopefully I don't forget. Alright. So like I said, VTOLing. VTOLing is incredibly difficult for someone who's had no experience in flying in armour. So we'll get the engine going, and we'll look at the HUD again. So the HUD, again, is very similar to what we saw in the LAT. We've got altitude to the right, and climb rate underneath that. We've got our heading along the top. You know, right now we're facing pretty much west. We've got our speed on the left-hand side, which is that rectangle there. We can see our gears down. We said we have 1,000 ammunition in the 10,000 ammunition in the chamber, and that's 2 rounds. If I press F, you can see I can toggle a laser. If I press F again, I'm toggling short-range air-to-air missiles. So things like Vulture droids aren't a problem. I've got a Valkyr air-to-ground missile, as well as a Maverick air-to-ground missile. The Valkyrs do not lock on, whereas the Mavericks do. Very potent against armoured vehicles. And this is by far my favourite thing about a bomber, the GBUs. They will take out anything very quickly. They can either be laser guided, or I'll show you how to use the HUD to take down a target so you can aim perfectly. Alright, So with VTOLing, in fact I'll show you this cool little animation. So you can see you can use the rudder, you can use the altimeters, and you can go up and down. Yes, very, very cool. Alright, so my throttle is in the top left-hand corner. I'm doing it in this view so I can have a clearer view of where my Y-wing's at. This is a very large vehicle and I don't feel comfortable flying it in the hangar in first person. So what I'm going to do, because it's so large, I'm going to take off and turn to the left and move out in that direction. This is for two reasons. One, it gives me more room to manoeuvre, and two, I know moving out to the left-hand side is nothing but ocean, so therefore I've got a clear run. So we're going to put the throttle to around 80 to 85, and we're going to keep going up and down. Reason for that is if you keep it at 85, you're going to ascend all the way into the roof. If you keep it at 80, you're going to gently drop. So you want to fluctuate your throttle here. You don't want to jam it at 100. Alright, so let's get going. So there we go. Get a bit of lift going. Now I'm going to keep the gear down till we're out of the hangar, just because this is a heavy vehicle and I don't want any accidents. See, already we're going a bit too slow. There we go. So gear up, throttle up, nose down. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking at here is my climb rate. My climb rate is currently very close to my altitude. If I decrease that altitude, that climb rate should drop. There you go, see how the climb rate's dropping? Pull the nose up. Alright, so this is what we call a successful climb. So we've got a positive rate of climb. So we dip the nose back down. Now, realistically, you don't need to keep this at 100% throttle. You can drop this down to about 50 now. Now that the thrust is facing directly backwards and you've got momentum, this is all you really need. So around 50 to 60 is what I keep the throttle at this point. And if I need to slow down, I pop my air brakes by using X-ray. X for X-ray. And that'll just slow us right down again. And you can dip into what we call a dive bomb maneuver, like so. Now, as you can see, I'm holding my S button, which is to pitch the nose up, and I'm holding that hard, and you can see how slow it is to react to it. These things really don't like to be engaged in dogfights. That's what the gunner on top behind me is for. So yes, normal laser cannons. Like I said, I'll teach you how to use these bombs, because this is probably a good thing to know. Alright, so we have this little circle in front of us. This circle in front of us shows where the bomb is going to drop. So if I rotate around, I might polish off a bit more speed as well. Alright, so what will we make our target? We'll see what we fly over. Not much visibility at this stage. Oh, here we go. There's a little, yeah, we use this. What will I use? Let me mark something on the map. Let's use this as our target. For the point of the exercise, because Dino Checker will watch this video, we'll say there's some CIS insurgents in there and we need to take them out. That way that'll make Checker feel better. Alright, so I'm probably going to get about 3k out. That's going to give me enough time to turn this around and come back in for an attack run. Again, you can see my throttle's down to about 42 here, and we're doing quite fine. Alright, so we're going to come about. Line up our target. Alright, I'm going to polish up a bit more speed. Alright, there's our house. Line it up, bomb away. Now, bomb is underneath us now. Boom, perfect hit. So, you want to keep your speed around 450 when you're doing a bombing run. Reason for this is you'll have more control over the vehicle. So we're going to slow down and get ready to land inside the acclimator, which should just be over to our right. There it is. So I've just turned the thrusters all the way facing upwards now. We're going to use the Y-wing to slow us down. So I'm holding the air brake at this stage. We're still going quite quick even though I've got absolutely no throttle going. And when you see the red number come up on the top left hand corner at our speed, that's when you want to give it some throttle. Because that means you're stalling. You don't want to be stalling in one of these because you won't pull out of it very quick. So this is where you want to play with the throttle. There's a fair bit to watch here. So I'm watching the throttle, I'm watching the altitude, I'm watching where I'm going, I'm watching where I am in relation to the hanger because you don't want to be too high, you don't want to be too low. So just keep fluctuating your throttle so you're not too high, not too quick, because I'm going a bit fast at the moment. Drop our gear down. So we're sitting a bit high, so we'll lose some altitude. So every action has an opposing reaction, so I'm trying to accelerate up a bit now because we're going a bit too slow. So you just got to watch everything. There's no wrong or right way to do this. As long as the Y-wing hits the ground nice and smoothly, I'm happy with how you're doing it. But it's about getting it in here and making it smooth. That's the real trick. So we're going a bit slow now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and rotate the vehicle. We talked about this in the last video, so I'm trying to move it forward, if it'll let me, without hitting those lats. So as you can see, it's not easy to do. That'll probably do us, and then we just gradually move it back. That'll do, on the ground. Beautiful. Okay, so while the engine's running, I'll show you the gunner position. So the rear gunner position is a turret, like I said. As you can see, you've got thermal vision here, which is very, very handy. You can see the boys working on the ARC 170 over there showing up like you wouldn't believe. It says it's a blaster cannon. It is supposed to be an ion cannon. So you can see what it does. Very handy. So generally when you're in a dogfight, the gunner's position will be like so. That's generally where it's going to be facing, towards the back of the ship. So that's really how the Y-wing works. When you're learning to fly, this is probably one I'd learn last. It's the heaviest. It is the heaviest vehicle you can use. It really is. It's probably the most unresponsive as well, as you saw as I was coming in. But it is the most versatile in terms of dogfighting. Close air support, and with a gunner behind you, you will be able to stand on your own in a dogfight. Alright, that's about all I have to say. Good flying.